Hey, what's up, my friends? How's it going today? Try to straighten out my table. Or straighten out the camera. I guess I really can't. That's my perfectionist nature taking over on me. How's everybody doing today? I haven't made a video in a couple days. It's so funny. I skip one day making videos and a couple people are like, where are you at? It's like, geez, I don't make videos every single day, but I guess I kind of looked back after realizing that and saw that, I'd missed a day, but that there are other days, of course, that I haven't made videos. It's not like I make videos every single day. Last year, I actually took a week off, which was kind of nice. And it's about that time of year when I might end up doing that again, but whatever, who knows. So anyway, here I am. It's the evening. I think it's, October 19th? Hold on a second. Okay, yeah. It's October 19th, 2016, and I just got done watching the final debate. Face palm. I mean, seriously. I'm done with politics, but at the same time, I'm wrapped up in it. I mean, I have to be involved. I have to be a part of the solution, or I'm part of the problem. It's that old catch that that if you're not paying attention, it's funny, that reminds me of the old saying, if you're not angry, you're not paying attention. In the 80s, there were a lot of bumper stickers like that. Now I'm thinking, well, but if you're not paying attention, you don't know what's going on, too. And so you have to get angry in order to pay attention and then know what's going on. It's like there are a lot of people define it as waking up, to what's going on in the world. Unfortunately, waking up doesn't mean that you watch a lot of YouTube videos or that you blog on certain websites or listen to Alex Jones. It means that you do critical research and try to, gather information even in biased places. When I'm looking for an answer to something that's going on in the political realm or elsewhere, or religious-wise, anything, for example, I'll look at religious websites, and then I'll look at atheist websites, if it's religious related. And if I'm looking for something political, I'll look for the conservatives and the Democrats. I don't look just at one side. I really want to be fair in my life about what I'm doing. I don't want to be another idiot who's making stupid decisions based on emotion, which is tied up in misdirected hostility. This is one of the biggest issues in our country. I'm not going to be one of these guys who says all Trump supporters are idiots, although I want to sometimes. I realize that a lot of people are just misinformed to think that a man like that has the ability to lead. And a lot of people also think that, Hillary's much worse, therefore Trump is a savior. In my eyes, they're both crooked. And I understand that there's more to it than this. After just finishing watching the debate, it was pretty much what I expected. They were actually slightly civil in this final debate, which I expected they would be. I didn't think that they were just going to lash out at each other because they both have to impress people. But let me tell you, I've watched every debate. I've paid close attention to their gestures. Not just them, but all the people who have spoken for them. And let me tell you, the people that speak for you say a lot about who you are. And so I guess that's my preamble about how I'm going to, pretty much consistently diss on Donald Trump in this video, because I want people to know that I don't support all of Hillary Clinton's actions. She did a lot of bad things as far as bad decision making. But, the idea that she's evil or somehow malicious towards you and I, that's a determination you as an individual have to make. I'm not going to entertain those notions because they may or may not be true. I don't know. I don't think that Hillary is some crazy blood-sucking lizard queen, and I also don't think that she's an angel and doing all of this for the people. I know she does a lot of things for herself. In fact, I just got done watching a really good show. It's called Choice 2016, and it was Frontline, which is PBS or OPB, whatever show. It's about an hour long, and it goes into detail about both candidates and their past, and it compares them in equal time and alternates between the two throughout the history of both of their lives and what they were doing at certain times. And it's very interesting to look back at humans' lives. We have to remember that this election is about electing humans. It's easy to think that all politicians are just completely directed by selfish interests, but this is a case where we have someone like Hillary Clinton who in the past has at least stated that she has some sort of an attempt or a heart to make an effort to change things. A lot of people say she defended Bill. Yeah, of course she did. They were married. Are you married? Do you have kids? Do you understand how these things work? It's very complex because you have a president who has personal issues on top of her priorities with the nation. He was president at the time. But I'm not here to defend Clinton. I'm just saying that I understand why people are frustrated with her. But a lot of the propaganda on both sides is completely blown out of proportion, realizing that they are humans. But my thought is that the side of Donald Trump is a completely disgusting thing, and I just got to go. I had to write these down because I had a few notes I didn't want to forget. This whole idea of locker room talk is preposterous to me. And I want women to know out there, all the women watching, that regardless of what guys are saying on the news, Donald Trump's defenders, Donald Trump himself, that's fucking bullshit that it's locker room talk. I'm sorry, but I don't know what frickin' steam rooms you're hanging out in, but in the real world, at least in the places where I've been, and I understand what they mean, not literally locker room talk. They mean this is the talk that guys do when they're around together. Look, I've hung out with a lot of guys, and even some guys that are very horny guys that love women, and that's all they talk about. But I've never heard one single man say that they would grab a woman in any particular way or abuse a woman merely because they can or they can get away with it. That kind of stuff is the stuff that we've seen on the news lately with that fella who got off because the judge let him off because his dad said, hey, he was a college student and, he just made a mistake and he might ruin his future. This is the kind of mentality that we're allowing to happen. And it wasn't until today when I really realized, actually, that the Christian church, does not condone women to lead men. It's considered in the Bible that the man is supposed to be the head of the household. And I've heard a couple of pastors, it was Jerry Falwell was one of them who was supporting Trump. Him and another fellow who are both, there was another pastor who was on YouTube recently, and they're both talking about how, it's okay for, the women can't lead, and it's okay for, to keep a woman out of office because the Bible says. And it made me realize how many Americans really believe that. And there are a lot of Christian Americans. I did keep up on that. It used to be 79%, and it went down to 72% over a few years, and I'm not sure what it is now, but that's still about 3/4 of the nation. And I find that preposterous. There's always been this patriarch-matriarch, dilemma. Should men or women rule the nation? Should men or women rule the household? I was talking with my neighbor just today. He came over and we were talking about just this, and he's like, yeah, well, my wife runs the house, or I do what she tells me. It's that old joke that most husbands understand. And I said, yeah, that's just it, though. Our wives don't rule us. Our wives keep us in shape, and we keep them in shape, and we help each other. And it's a partnership. It's not about a man ruling over a woman or being in charge of her. And that's the type of mentality that Trump has. He thinks that women are second-rate citizens. This is why he has continuously said, nobody respects women more than I do. Nobody respects women more than I do. He says it over and over and over. Every time anything comes up with a woman, he says this. And from a guy's perspective, I say bullshit. You don't respect women at all. A lot of people are trying to throw out all the accusations from all these women that are coming forward and saying, why didn't they come forward earlier? This is just a conspiracy. Clinton's paying these people off. Women are afraid to come forward when they get abused. Can you imagine if a billionaire or a claimed billionaire abuses you and he says, hey, you say anything, who's going to believe you? women can be scared into not saying anything. That's a very common thing that happens in abuse cases. I'm not saying Donald Trump even did abuse anyone. I'm saying that he, out of his own mouth, said that he grabs women without permission. So I say you're a disgusting, disgusting person. But a lot of people are willing to look past that, unfortunately. And the old joke, he says, oh, well, that was years ago. The guy is only 70, okay? He was almost 60 years old when he said that. That was not younger. That was 60 years old. He's supposed to be a grown man who completely understands how you respect a woman. If you don't learn by 60, I'm sorry. But, that doesn't surprise me, because the people, a few people I saw interviewed that went to school with him say he never really changed from the time he went to school. He went to a military academy, and his dad was very, very demanding, and he sent him to these business courses. He wanted him to, rule the world, more or less. This is the kind of mentality that these people have. And the fact that he claims respect for women so many times shows me merely that he doesn't. And this has also taught me that Trump is the ultimate projector. If somebody brings something up and then he changes the subject, then you can be assured that whatever he's claiming or bombarding someone else with seems to be something that he did. If you call him out on something and then he continuously says something over and over about how they did it, it seems like that was him. That, something that he would do. It's like a child who's blaming their brother. Anyway, the whole idea that he says, we've all heard the stupid bus tape, and I'm really sick of people saying that, quote, grabbed her by the, it's not right to just keep repeating it because he said it. For me, it's something that you got to understand that everybody knows what it is by now. You don't have to repeat it to try to be funny. It's a matter of respect to show Trump that we're better than the guy like that, he says, like, I start kissing them, I don't even wait, And people are like, well, he was just trying to impress. His wife says, oh, he was just trying to impress Billy Bush. I'm like, what, a billionaire's trying to impress this scrawny little dude that's an interviewer on a show? I'm sorry, I don't buy that. I see that the man has a history of disgusting attitude towards not just women, but minorities, handicapped people, veterans. He treats everybody like shit. And the only people he respects are those who give him praise. So if you want Donald Trump's praise, you praise him, and he'll praise you back. And that's how it works. And that's pretty childish in my opinion. We really find that these issues really are complex. And there's no one-size-fits-all. Donald Trump's claiming he's going to fix ISIS by, well, I can't tell you how I'm going to do it because, that would be giving away my plan. You really think this guy has a plan? This guy that's done nothing but run his own companies into the ground? More and more information is coming out on this guy about the reality of where he comes from, how many losses he's taken, recent findings on one of his tax returns that he only made $3 million one year, another one where he lost almost $1 billion in a year, claiming that he's smart and this is why he doesn't pay the federal taxes. A guy who's using public services yet abusing them. And this guy really doesn't give a shit about you or this country. If you want to know what probably stirred this man to actually take action to become president, he has gotten to the top of the ladder and he wants to keep that recognition going. There are plenty of rich men in the world, but how many do you know that go around saying, I'm very rich, I'm very rich, I'm very rich? You know what that tells me? He's probably not very rich. And all around the world there are rich people who are trying to be modest about it. They may buy expensive things, but they don't go around bragging the way he does. This man is a total, a completely arrogant, materialistic, chauvinistic asshole that is attracting attention because he's saying he's something different. But here's what I'm saying. He's not something different. A lot of folks don't understand how Congress works, and I understand that. And they also don't understand that their vote probably won't count this fall because of the Electoral College. Some states force their electorates to vote with the people, and some don't. It depends on where you live. But the fact is, you should vote anyway and make your own decision. But it does matter. These decisions do matter for the future. We want to show that people actually care. And it's totally, an independent choice. I mean, I'm not saying you should vote for one person or the other. Make your own best informed decision. I personally despise both candidates, but unfortunately, after reviewing a lot of information recently, looking into many of the incidents that were claimed by both of them, and then getting a general round view of all the debates and the discussions as much as I can, and looking at their websites and their ideas for the future, I've decided that I probably won't vote for Donald Trump. No, of course I won't vote for Donald Trump. I absolutely will not vote for Donald Trump. If I vote at all, I'm not sure. I mean, I'd love to say I'd write in Sanders' name or Jill Stein, but I've looked at Jill Stein's plans too. I've also looked at this Gary guy. He's delusional. I will have to say that, unfortunately, of all the things that Hillary Clinton has done, she is probably going to do the least damage to this country of anyone, if anyone. And if she falls dead in the White House, people say she's sick or she can't lead. The fact is that Hillary has good people surrounding her who can help out. Unfortunately, Trump is the kind of guy who's brought guys in like Mike Pence, the governor of Indiana, a complete douchebag. All of the people who are surrounding Trump are complete morons. He wants to bring somebody in like Justice Scalia. Trump has said that he is going to try to bring in justices that will overturn Roe versus Wade. So he's pro-life. He's only saying this to get attention for the pro-lifers because that's how he'll get that vote. But let me tell you, if you're a pro-lifer and you're extreme pro-lifer Christian that believes that women shouldn't be allowed to have abortions in any circumstance, then go ahead and vote for Trump. If you believe that the media should be silenced when they talk bad about Donald Trump, then go ahead and vote for Trump. If you believe that you may be silenced when you talk bad about Trump, go ahead and vote for Trump. If you think that it's okay for men to grab women and touch women without their permission, merely because they're wealthy and known, then go ahead and vote for Trump. If you think that arrogance is a good way to win over other leaders and get our world together, then vote for Trump. If you want a giant $50 billion wall built between the borders when people can still use tunnels and airplanes, vote for Trump. If you want to try to deport all the illegal immigrants in America, which would probably take over a decade, if possible at all, and cost probably trillions of dollars, then vote for Trump. If you want the trickle-down economics that Donald is promising, which he says that he wants to give tax credits to bigger companies and hope that the economics trickle down to the smaller guy, then go ahead and vote for Trump. Everything this guy stands for is complete garbage. And I cannot see one thing worth voting for him. And I've given him every chance. I've even listened to the debates with an open mind, with an open heart, saying I understand where Americans are coming from. But after revealing too many things about how this guy is, I'm just amazed that anyone supports him at all. And I think that in a lot of cases it's just a stubborn-ass nature of people. They don't want to admit that he's a fucking douchebag and that they have to make a choice for Clinton, which is also a douchebag. So vote for the lesser. If you want, I should have said turd sandwich and giant douche. If you've never seen South Park, which I know a lot of you probably have, it's a phenomenal show. This whole season is about the election. And every season, during the election season, and they've been doing this for years, they say, why do I have to vote between a turd sandwich and a giant douche? And they say, sorry son, that's just how it is every election. And this time was no different. They're using the same analogy, but Mr. Garrison, who was like this asshole school, he used to work at the school. Anyway, he's the Trump, and his face is all orange, and he's just him normal self. He doesn't even act like Trump, but he's got the same type of attitude. This arrogant son of a bitch attitude, and he's basically saying he's giving away the election to Clinton. He is. And she continues to screw it up. She has got many issues. But I'm not going to go into that. I just wanted to get out my feelings on Trump. because I know that Clinton has her problems. It is the same old politics. It is the same old bullshit. The Clinton dynasty, the Bush dynasty. I'm sick of that bullshit. And the thing is, a lot of the people who are Trump fans believe that, you know, hey, you're an idiot if you don't trust this guy because everybody else is corrupt. I say, you know, they are corrupt. But Trump stands for disgusting things. He's a gross man. And anybody who does things like that is not a real man in my book. And I grew up meeting a lot of little boys that acted like men, that tried to be men, but they couldn't get over their childish antics. And I had to abandon those people. Old friends that couldn't grow out of their stupid ways, making dumb decisions and bringing other people down with them. We all have met people like that in our lives. Well, Trump is one of those guys who's a spoiled little brat who whines about everything. And if things aren't going his way, everything's rigged. So, you know, it's not that it's rigged. The media's always been biased. They're biased towards whatever they feel is the best choice. Unfortunately, in the past, they've always been biased towards the Republican candidates a lot of the time. And it's funny to watch Fox News tear into the Republican candidate this time. The corrupt-ass Fox News that everybody hates so much. They're all messed up. I don't watch media. I don't watch mainstream media. I will watch clips of them, and then I will watch clips of, you know, like Colbert and Bill Maher. I want to get the alternative side and the straight, you know, mainstream side, but I drive my conclusions by looking at their websites. So if you're still a Donald Trump supporter, you're welcome to go to his website, look at what he has to actually offer, because it's pretty pathetic. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on Trump, just after post-debate bullshit, so talk to y'all later.